What's going on, guys? Man, we greatly appreciate you having an amazing time. Season 2, Episode 7. Want to talk to him about what we're going to discuss on the show today, Oak?
Yes, sir. We talk about the power of discernment, the process of becoming and unbecoming, and what it means to really be a good person.
Yes. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Serendipity with Inky Johnson across all podcast platforms, including YouTube. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Peace. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Serendipity Podcast, Season 2, Episode 7. I'm Ink.
I'm Oak. We're happy to be here today. Happy that you took the time to just take in a few of the words and thoughts that Ink and I have going on, just the conversations that we're about to embark upon.
Yes, Lord.
What'd you say about it, Doctor?
Man, I got I got some quote cards that I want your insight, your perspective on.
Man, you better go on. The
first one reads, "Love is what we are born with. Fear is what we have learned here. The spiritual journey is the unlearning of fear and the acceptance of love back into our hearts."
What you want to know?
Unlearning of fear and acceptance of love back into our hearts. So we're born with one and we got to unlearn the other.
But why do we have to unlearn it?
It's interesting.
Because generation after generation teaches fear.
Yeah.
You know, like we'll tell a child to don't touch that fire.
Right.
We're in a lot of ways instilling. We may call it caution or whatnot. Yet we're instilling fear in them by the way in which we teach them early on.
Yeah.
Right. As opposed to, hey man, go out there and play, have fun. You know, if you fall, you fall. You get a scrape, you get a scrape.
Yeah.
We'll take care of it. As opposed to, don't be out there running.
Yeah.
Don't go out there. Don't do that.
My mama used to say, "You don't believe fire high, huh?
Right.
Touch it."
Exactly. But what that does is allows you the freedom.
Absolutely.
And with freedom comes love.
Absolutely.
Right? It allows you the freedom to go and explore.
It's power in that.
We encage sometimes without even knowing it. It's nobody's fault.
Right.
You know, but we encage young people, and especially their minds, by putting parameters on them and not allowing them to just go out into the yard and play, figuratively and literally.
Yeah.
Right? Just go play.
Absolutely.
You know, growing up, I remember I was so deep off in the woods and this, that, and other. Could have been bit by a snake. Or, you know, a lot of things could have happened. But it was never, don't go out there.
Right.
Don't go down there. Now, one of the other places, though, I couldn't ride my bike in the street.
Yeah.
Man, a car would come up the street maybe every 2 hours.
Yeah.
Right? But Mom was very cautious about that. That was a fear that had been instilled in her. Another one was like with water. You know, she had some experiences with the water and people drowning. But the fact of the matter is most people don't drown when they get in water. Right? But we allow the fears and we allow the atrocities to take hold of us, as opposed to allowing how good and how great God is and the possibilities for our lives to really be on the forefront. Yeah. Right? Because, you know, just like with the water situation, you can go swim and go enjoy the water, this, that, and the third. But if you already have a predisposition to the fear of water, you're going to pass that down.
No doubt.
So then as an adult, with water and whatever else, it doesn't matter. As an adult, then you spend most of your lives trying to undo those cages that have been put up by your upbringing and by your experiences. Yeah. So love is the removal of boundaries. Yeah. Right? So that's the undoing of the fear. The fear is taught.
Yeah, the fear is taught. I was talking to Cam Newton one day and we shared a quote card and it said, maybe the journey isn't about anything. Maybe it's about unbecoming everything that's not supposed to be you so you can become the person that you're really destined to become. And so when you speak about unlearn, undo, I often think about that, but also when you speak about freedom, curiosity, go play, go do this, I think it's extreme power in that.
Yeah.
When it comes to entrepreneurship, when it comes to parenthood, when it comes to business, when it comes to education, like when a person's curiosity is put forth and it's like, go figure it out, right?
Yeah.
Like my boy Jesse always say, like when he gives somebody a task, nah, don't ask for my insight right now. How would you do it if you had no boundaries?
Right.
How would you do it if you just had complete freedom and nobody's saying, hey, do it this way, do it that way? How would you do it? Because in that, I think that's where greatness lies, when you got a level of curiosity and a level of freedom to go out, make mistakes, right? Because for most of us, we're scared to make a mistake. But if you make a mistake, you got the opportunity to learn from it.
Right.
You learn from it. Now you can add value to different environments, different people on every aspect and phase of life.
Two of the greatest, the best math teachers that I know, Nathan Stone over at Crawford Long Middle School, and Tajay Emmons. Yeah. She's at my school at the Main Street Academy, right? And the mainstay of their classroom is the freedom to be wrong.
That's powerful.
Right? The freedom to make mistakes.
It's powerful.
Like to explore.
It's powerful.
And I just see how well and how wonderful the kids learn mathematics because they're not prohibited by wanting to get the right answer. They're empowered by the opportunity to explore.
Yeah.
Right?
That's strong.
And then on a personal note, as a father of especially, you know, the five boys right now that I can think of who are out of school and, you know, on their particular journeys, them, you know, when they were younger, I taught them explore, you know. You got the freedom to figure it out. Go figure it out, right?
No doubt.
Now it's kind of, you know, it come full circle where they figuring it out. It may not be some of the things I want them to be trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Right?
No
Personally.
doubt. Personally, absolutely.
But spiritually, I'm walking with them. I'm good on it. So it's like, you know, they want to be entrepreneurs. They want to explore this possibility in terms of life versus college right now and all of those things. And again, you know, from a father standpoint, man, go do this right here. Do this, this, and this. Yeah. But that would be anti of what I taught them when they were 12.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the things that you teaching Lil Ink right now, you know, the universe is going to come back and say, were you for real?
Yeah.
Did you mean what you were teaching them?
It's always going to show back up.
Right. It's going to come back up, and it might not be so cute in the moment.
Yeah.
But then that's where your faith, you know, that's when you rely on that mustard seed.
Yes, sir. I got you. I got you.
That's when you got to just sit back and say, nah, this is not my life. This is their freedom. Yeah. This is them going and exploring the world.
Absolutely.
Now, what I would also add, though, is there's one thing that you in this moment, the most important thing that you want to teach young people, right? Even beyond experiencing and stepping out and this, that, and the third, is you got to walk in faith. And then you got to walk in your character.
Yes, sir.
I think you said it, you know, don't allow, come on, man, help me out. Don't allow your talent or whatever to take you places.
That your character can't sustain you. Absolutely.
Right.
Yep.
So that's why in this moment, and when they're 10, 11, 12, 13, the most important thing to teach them is character. Yeah. Right?
So important.
Because they're going to have the talent. They're going to acquire the skills. They're going to acquire the mindset. Why? Because they're just around you. Right. Absolutely. The fact that they're around you, they're going to acquire that. If we don't press the character, then when they're out there exploring, without the character, that's when you see the destruction. That's when you see the downfall. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And it shows up. Character is something that I feel shows up in several different ways. And so, like I've often talked to you about it, but like when I was speaking at a certain university, right, and I was talking about picking up the Gatorade bottle, right, and cats were stepping over the Gatorade bottle while at the same time shaking my hand saying to me, hey, Ink, I'm going to be great. Look, I'm going to be awesome. I'm going to do this. We're going to do this year. We're going to win the conference championship. It's a Gatorade bottle sitting on the floor in the room that they walking into. So right after we dap it up, I'm going to be great. Step over the Gatorade bottle, walk into the room. And so when all of them walked into the room, I just picked it up, walked in the room behind them, and I said, man, y'all said y'all going to be great, right? Yeah, y'all going to win this. Yeah, man, we finna make it happen. I said, how you going to be great and you can't even pick up a Gatorade bottle in your facility? It's your place, where you reside, where you work.
Yes.
You don't value it enough to see a Gatorade bottle on the ground and pick it up, but you saying you're going to be great, right? What's the message in it? Details, character. Every aspect, every facet of it, we value it enough, right? But our character won't allow us to walk over that Gatorade bottle. Our character going to make us bend down and pick it up, even if we didn't put it there.
Yeah.
That was a lesson that I had to press upon Ink at a young age, because Ink didn't understand at first, like, man, Dad, I ain't put that there. Why I gotta pick that up, man?
You preaching now, man.
I ain't put that there, man. Why I gotta pick that up?
That lesson right there.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, it ain't about that. And he struggled with it at first, right? Because if we walk in and I'm like, hey, Ink, pick that up. Sure enough, he didn't put it there, right? And so he trying to understand when he ate, I ain't do that. Nah, it ain't about that. Just pick it up, right? The lesson in it. Because you're going to meet a lot of moments in life to where it's going to be a lot of things you encounter. You ain't do it, right? You ain't put it there, but it's still going to be your responsibility to straighten it.
Exactly. My grandma would say, sometimes you got to give up your right for somebody else's wrong.
Man, sheesh. Say that again.
You know.
That's potent, yeah.
She told us all the time, you know, sometimes you got to give up your rights for somebody else's wrong.
That's strong.
But the lesson that you get in behind that is tenfold. You know what I'm saying? In terms of quality of life, is tenfold. And then another thing, when you were talking about little Ink at that age and teaching that lesson at that age, imagine you trying to teach that lesson to a 17-year-old though. You say that's why when we say you be in the sap while it's young, like he got it. Yeah. Right? Because part of it, he's still in the submission stage. He's still in the obedience stage. Yeah. But once you get older, it gets harder to teach those lessons. Like, I'm not picking that up. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Right. You know what I'm saying? Now you in a full-fledged, almost to go in a fight with a kid who just as big and strong as you are. No doubt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why it's important that you teach the character first. Yeah, man. Teach the character first. Yes, sir. Right? The skills and what it takes to be successful in whatever they want to do can come second. But if you teach the character first, it's easier to teach. It's easier for them to, they may not get the lesson, but they're going to take it in. Yeah. And then when life hits them, they'll be able to utilize those lessons. Absolutely. Yeah. I got you. I had a question for you, Oak. There's a lot to be said about this in the world, in the day and age that we live in. We hear it. Every arena, every aspect of life, you hear people say it. Trust the process. Lock into the process. It's the process. You gotta love the process. When you hear the word process, like, what does that mean to you, and how do you internalize that, right? When you just hear process, like, what does that mean to you? Because I know it's an important word, but how do you break it down with your thought process and your insight? First off, I believe wholeheartedly process over product. Yeah. Right? But then how do I make it mine? How do I own it? I take account to what I do every day, right? So my process of, like, let's say working out, my process of working out is I'm walking and I'm, doing my little calisthenics, push-ups and whatever every morning. But it's really, I'm doing that to press my discipline. Yeah. Right? So that becomes my process. It's what I do within my lane, right? Just becoming real cognizant and real intentional about what you do. I started hitting the golf ball. I don't play golf. Yeah. I'm not. Don't play golf. I do not play golf. I hit the golf ball. Yeah. Right? What's the difference? You don't play golf, you hit the golf ball. Because people who play golf hit the ball towards some destined hole. So you happy gear mode. Happy way better than me. Happy way better than me. I hit the golf ball.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
you.
I'm not walking 18 holes,
Yeah.
not riding in the cart, none of that.
Yeah.
You know, but what it does, in fact, 2 times just this week, I went and hit the golf ball.
Yeah.
Because my mind was racing on some things. I felt like my spirit was going in a lot of different directions.
Mm-hmm.
So I go and hit the golf ball to steal my spirit.
Gotcha.
Just keep your head down. My cousin told me, just keep your head down. Keep your head still, actually. Keep your head still. Boom, hit the golf ball. Mm-hmm. So that is a microcosm for what I'm supposed to be doing in this season. Gotcha. And so process is, what is it that you do? What you do every day?
Yeah.
Right? We had a listener to the podcast, right? Mm-hmm. She reached out to me. We corresponded just this week. And the first thing I asked her, I said, tell me what you do every day. Mm-hmm. Like from the time you wake up in the morning, tell me about your day. Then just become intentional about that.
Absolutely.
Right? That's your process.
Yeah.
Right? Being intentional about, or when I say intentional, not necessarily so much of what you're doing, but if you dropping little Inky them off every morning, right? At school, what is it that you're getting? What is it that the universe is telling you when you're doing that? Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. What communication is going on between you and you? Right. That's process.
Gotcha.
Right? So it's nothing deep, it's nothing, smoky or none of that. It's just being intentional about what you're doing with your life every day. Yeah. Your day in and day out, comings and goings. Yeah. And just being cognizant of your ride to work or your ride home. What is it? What is the universe telling you? You got some people out there who they have to cook dinner every day. Yeah. Right? When you're cooking dinner, what do you get from it? Right. Right? That's process.
I got
That's
you.
process.
Yeah.
Not so much of what you cooked or how it tasted. Right. Of course you want it to taste good. That's a whole nother entity. That's not your process, though. Your process is what you're going through when you're doing it. Yeah. What you're thinking, what you're feeling. Yeah. And being intentional about that.
I love the word process because of oftentimes, we ask people all the time, like, what's more important, what you acquire or who you become? And oftentimes when a person lock into a process, if you're chasing something that you want to acquire, cool, great, beautiful, wonderful, right? If that's what drives you, awesome. To get a certain result, to get a certain outcome, to get a certain thing, whatever it may be, right? What's more important, what you acquire or who you become? When I think process, I think, what is it turning you into, right? Even what you acquire, who is it turning you into, right? What are you chasing? What is it turning you into? Every single day, the quest for whatever you're trying to get, what is it turning you into, right? If it's you chasing a certain amount of money, cool, great, right? I read a quote that said money is a number, right? If your happiness is predicated upon a number, numbers never end, right? So you might not ever catch it, right? Exactly. And so who is it turning you into when I think process toward greatness, right? Is it turning you into the person that you want to become? Or have you acquired something, but when you look in the mirror at the person that you've become, you're looking at a public success, but behind closed doors, you're a private failure because of the process that you've chased. Yeah. And so when I think about it, that's where my mind goes to that space and place.
And I not to get too deep into it, down this rabbit hole, when you say, who you're becoming, the thing for me is when you're doing something and when you're chasing something, at every single turn, you're going to be affected by it and you're going to become something. Absolutely. Now, the quest, the power that you have, the freedom that you have is being cognizant of who and what you're becoming.
Absolutely.
Right? Meaning it doesn't happen to you.
Right.
You have the power to be like, I want to be this person as I'm chasing this bag, as I'm chasing this dream, as I'm chasing this goal. Wonderful, as you're saying, right?
Absolutely.
But the power is in you having and being cognizant of who am I becoming as I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It doesn't happen to you.
Yeah.
That's the freedom. That's the power. Like just like we saying, you undoing those fears. What we started out the card with, bringing it back full circle. You undoing the fears because you have the power to become who you want to become.
Absolutely.
Right? Now I don't want to go down.
Yeah. Nah, you good.
We good.
Let's get into it, man. About what was on that pad we was talking about beforehand about the listeners and the audience. Those questions that you had. I want to tap into
I
that.
was saying that we've been getting positive feedback thus far, right?
Yeah.
And I think we put out a few episodes to where we can get a sample size.
Yeah.
What do you think the naysayers say about this interaction that you and I have going on?
Yeah. I can't say, man, and it's funny, like when we speak to naysayers, I look at things like this, and I'm gonna just be real. Like, I forgot who said it, but they was like, boy, you went in the gym with me shooting, boy. Like, I don't know if it was Drake or which one of them was like, you went in the gym with me shooting, man. You know what I'm saying? And so when I look at a person's insight, advice, feedback, whatever the case may be, I appreciate it because you took time to give it.
Yeah.
But like, what is it worth? It's like a cat. If you go to the gym every day, you sweat, you sacrifice, you put in work, and a cat that ain't never stepped in the gym in their life come to you and tell you, hey, bro, you doing it wrong. Right? But you ain't got no sweat equity in the game. And so I hear you, but where is it really coming from? And so when I look at what we do, the sacrifices, the people that make it work, the time that they take, the time that we take from what we do, I appreciate the sacrifice. I appreciate the insight. I appreciate the feedback from different individuals, but I got to see where it comes from, right? Before I take an account of what's being said, right? Like when my mom give me insight, advice, feedback, I can trust what my mom telling me. Gotcha. Not only because of her track record, but because of who she is. When Oak gives me insight and advice, I can trust what Oak telling me. Not because of his insight and advice only, but because I know who Oak is and I know the space and place that it's coming from. And so if a cat is on the internet giving feedback, great, I appreciate it. But I need to know where it's coming from before I put too much stock in it.
Got it.
Right?
Yep.
What's your thought process on it?
I mean, for me, it wasn't necessarily the answer to. I don't know what they think. I don't know what anyone thinks unless they share it, right? Yet I also always want to keep a balance of because the feedback is positive,
right?
Then I'm not crazy enough to believe that there's not negative feedback.
For sure,
right? It just may not have come across our plate, right? So.
Everything.
I was just thinking, like, what would they say though?
Yeah.
Because I'm the type person, man, and I don't know how this is gonna come off.
Yeah.
If you don't like me, I mean, it might be something wrong with you. And the only reason I say that is because I don't have no ill intent.
No doubt. The space and place that it's coming from. No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there are people that I know that I'm like, somebody come to me and say, man, I don't like such and such.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
Because
no question.
From my perspective, such and such, whoever that is, they don't have any ill intent for nobody.
Man, that's good, man. I love that. We got to get into this. Because I heard a cat say something similar about somebody that I didn't know. And they were speaking about him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I just said to him, you know him? Nah, I ain't never met him, but I heard. That's why I said I got to know the space and place that it's coming from. Right? When it's feedback, when it's insight, when it's advice. Because oftentimes I feel as if when you work for something, when you sacrifice for something, when you getting up, you putting in time, energy, focus, blood, sweat, tears, you crying behind it, you giving it up behind it.
Yeah.
A cat can come from anywhere and say, hey, man, I think y'all need to do this. It's like when the doctor told me, like, man, Ink, I think you can't play no more. And I'm like, nah. I'm like, you wasn't in that street running light pole to light pole.
Exactly.
Like, not disrespecting your craft. You great. As a physician, you're great. I appreciate what you do, impact lives daily. But, man, you wasn't running to that fire station with me on those Saturday mornings. Man, you wasn't on that track with me at Cheney Park. right? You weren't running them 400s with. So when you saying to me it might be over, I'm like, man, I hear you, but you don't know how hard I work and what I sacrifice to be here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's something about, like, if I record a podcast and I miss lunch with my wife because of the mission and the purpose, right? You sacrificing from things and obligations that you have to do.
Yep.
And a cat comes and be like, hey, man, hey, Oak, you need to do this. Cool. We're open to feedback and insight, right? But where is it coming from? The space and the place. Because you view it different because of the mission and the purpose that's attached to the work that you're doing.
Right.
And so you're willing to sacrifice obligations. I'm willing to sacrifice a lunch with my wife, right? Because of what we're working on and how we value it, right? You ain't got no stock in it.
Yeah.
You can give advice all day. It's like a cat telling a boxer you a coward. You ain't got punched in the face yet. You dig what I'm saying? You ain't got hit with an uppercut yet. And a hook. And a jab. Got knocked down, they counting, and then you got right back up. You mean to tell me they a coward? According to your synopsis?
Yeah.
And so when I look at it, I often think about that, right? But when you say people speak about things and you got to understand where it's coming from, man, I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Well, I had another question. You know, we just sitting around, right? You know, between podcasts or whatever, just having thoughts and conversations, experiences and whatnot. So, and then I was just like, okay, we on the podcast.
Yeah.
We out here and they gonna drop this at some point, whatever. But then the real me is like, okay, I'm getting this opportunity to have this time with this young Thundercat. So God, what are you telling me? What am I supposed to be doing? So one of the things that came to mind was, what do you, Incorious?
Yes, sir.
Right? What do you think you need to do in order to reach your next level of mastery?
What do I think I need to do in order to reach my next level of mastery? I think it's just the constant quest and pursuit to be better. And when I say that, not saying, oh, just be better in terms of what you do, what you're connected to. More specific than that. Like, I'll give you a prime example. I had a call earlier, right, with the company. And so the deal was done through a third party, which I very rarely do. And this is the reason why I'm about to tell you. So I get on the call. We talking, small talk. And one of the executives say, hey, Ink, we sent the document over, man. Just want to make sure you got it. We want to go over it. I'm like, I don't have a document. I never received the document, right? It's like, oh, man, okay, cool. I'm going to tell you what was on it. I was like, all right, thanks, man. Greatly appreciate it, right? We talked through it. We end up having a great call. We get off the call, hence my reason why I very rarely do business through a third party. Because when I do a call, when I do a deal, if I'm doing a deal with Oak Enterprises, I want every piece of information Oak Enterprises sent to us.
Right.
I want everything about it. So when I get on the call, I'm as prepared as possible. When they say certain things, I know what they're talking about, right? When they refer to certain things, nope, got it, boom, boom, right? So I don't waste their time or mine, but just the constant quest to be better. I feel as if I'm a better presenter when I walk into a room if I've studied information and everything you've sent to me, right? I'm more effective, I'm more efficient, I'm better at what I'm doing. And so when I say the constant quest to be better, just being specific about the things I'm connected to and the things I'm privileged to do. I think that's my next step. What about you?
Discipline.
Yeah.
For me is really being intentional about, that's why what I was saying about taking up golf, right? Doing things that are outside of my comfort zone, and doing them well.
Yeah.
Like in the past, I'm open, just who I am as a person. I'm open to doing, almost whatever. I can try whatever and do it as, if it's offered from an elder, a parent, or a friend or whomever, I will try it. I'll do it just to say I did it.
You a skydiver?
Would I skydive?
Yeah.
Are you asking me like as Inky?
You say you open to it?
Yes, I'm open to it.
Nah, I'm messing.
I'm open to it.
Go ahead.
Now you gonna have to.
Go ahead,
We're
I'm
gonna have to
messing with
walk a
you.
little
Go
bit in
ahead.
terms
Go
of,
ahead.
hey, Oak, I see you need to, conquer your height of fears.
Yeah.
Because that is the next level and the next step. That's the whole purpose of elders,
Right.
right? Wisdom. Wisdom is one's ability to see beyond the obvious by heeding the words of the elders.
Yes, sir.
Right. So I'm gonna walk on that wisdom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna heed it.
Yeah.
That means take it into consideration. But if we're saying, if we get into the rat killing of the matter, that's what need to happen. Then that's what needs to happen.
No question.
Right. But just on the surface, hell no. No.
That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted right there. That's what I wanted.
We're going to have a conversation or two or three. But just what I'm saying, man, for me, it's really just that discipline.
Yeah.
Like doing a thing well that I don't want to do. I hate emails.
Yeah.
Let me wake up at 4 o'clock and do the emails, man. So that's pressing my discipline to just be better, right? I like hitting the golf ball, because it's solitude. I enjoy solitude. But the frustration of not being able to hit it straight bothers me. So it's the constant back and forth of being able to just put a ball down there, take a stick with, the little thing on the end, and be able to hit that ball where you want to hit it.
Yeah.
So being able to do something that I don't want to do, well.
That's good.
Right?
That's good.
That's where I am right now.
It's a lesson in that, man. Because oftentimes as people, right, even if we do something that we don't do well, we won't take it as serious, or we'll put up some type of wall to let people know that, nah, this ain't really what I do.
Listen, man, one of the worst quotes or sayings that I hear all the time?
What's that?
Grown people say, man, I ain't good at math. You don't hear grown people saying I can't read. Right?
Yeah.
But then somebody say I'm not good at math. Yeah. Because for whatever barriers, And I'm not saying people should be good at math, but to announce that with such pride bothers me.
Yeah.
Like something I'm not good at, that's what I mean by this whole discipline thing. I'm trying to press to be good at something that I'm not good at. Yeah. That I don't like doing. Mm-hmm. And this is the next level, I think. Right. Is to do it with a great countenance.
Countenance.
Yes, your disposition.
There it is. Yeah, because I was going to tell you, a cat hit me up and was like, hey, man, tell Oak, him and T.I. must be brothers. They say them words, them big words. Cat text me that. But go carry on, man.
No, I mean...
Onward, forward, sir.
No, for real, man. It's like just to have a positive attitude, a positive disposition, even when you don't like it, even when it doesn't feel good, even when you don't think it's cool, right? Yeah. That's a level of maturity that I'm trying to get to. Yeah. Yeah,
that's good, man.
Because I can't press these young Thundercats on their maturity if I'm not consistently trying to press mine.
Absolutely. That's good. It's good.
Yeah. And I fall short. When I say I fall, somebody they fall down.
You and me both. Shoot. You and me both, man. Daily.
Yeah.
Daily.
Yeah. Yesterday.
Yeah. Daily.
Because I just find myself in situations where I hit you up this week.
Yeah.
After I had a phone call, a conversation with someone from work, or they not at work, but dealing with being an administrator. I was blown. I had to connect to some positive energy, so I hit you up. Because it's very easy to get off course. It's very easy to lose sight of your ego.
Yeah,
it's very easy.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I got you.
So I guess finally what I wanted to hit, just like we did back in the day, since we talked about it, I wanted to hit you with a proverb.
Yes, sir.
Or hold on now. You said you had two of these readings though. So I don't want to hit his second one first.
Hey, in his second one, I got you. It says, besides the noble art of getting things done, there's the noble art of leaving things undone. The wisdom of life consists in the elimination of the non-essentials.
Discernment.
Yes, sir.
Discernment. That is something that I converse with God about. Discernment. You know, being going back to just your process. My process is I'm a administrator of education, right? And I interact, support, assist to the best of my ability. You know, teachers, students, and families, parents, right? Yeah. And the discernment of hearing all of those different aspects coming from people, the discernment of what to give attention to and what to be just a great listener, right? I'm a father,
yes, sir,
of some young adults, and the discernment between, is this 18, 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old talking?
Yeah.
You know, and that's how close they are, all of them. Or is it something that I need to really give my attention to and jump in the middle of and say, hey, this is my perspective on it.
Right.
Right. I'm a husband.
Yes.
And that discernment needs to happen every day, every moment, as you may as well know, as wonderful as it is. But what makes it wonderful is being able to have the discernment, paying attention to this. I need to respond, right? Or I need to listen.
It's good.
And so that's really what it boils down to. Is this something I need to do something about, or is this something I need to listen to?
Yeah.
Right? That's the whole undone. Being able to just leave things alone and just listen. Be in the moment to just listen.
Yeah. And discernment, man, I was talking to Allison about this. Like, it's a war, right, that I fight constantly between myself, right, when we talk discernment. And it's like I pray and I seek God daily, because of my heart, right? And just being honest. So when my life got spared as a result of my injury, I feel as if, in terms of what I do now, opportunities I get, the life that God has provided me and my family, the places I've been able to speak, people I've been able to speak to, I feel indebted to God, right? And I know I could never repay God for what God has done for my life, but I feel indebted to God with the gift that God has blessed me with, opportunities He's blessed me with, and I struggle with discerning how to say no, where to go, where not to go, when to speak, when not to speak. It's a challenge for me.
Yeah.
And sometimes I find myself in the space and place of, all right, God, am I supposed to do this or not? Right? And I struggle with it, like, mightily, right? And I thought about that when you said discernment. That's something that I try to press every single day to myself, because I got that constant war and battle of, all right, God, I don't want you to ever feel like, I don't appreciate what you've blessed me with in terms of the gift to be able to impact.
Right.
But also, how do I distinguish and discern? Do I go here? Do I not go here? Do I go here? Even though I know every opportunity is not for me. Even sometimes when people cat is trying to manipulate. But it's been times where I feel as if a cat has tried to manipulate, then I got there, and it was somebody that I met that really needed what I had to say.
That's the it right there.
Right?
The it to me is whether you go or not, whether you do or not, is wherever your feet are, you intentional about manifesting the gift God gave you.
Yes.
Right? Man, should I go here? And you make the decision because you got free will, and you say, nah, right? So then what do you do instead?
Yeah.
The thing that you do instead, does it still uplift and expose and manifest the gifts that God gave you? you're winning.
Hmm.
If you do go, as you said, it might have been on some shady stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But your spirit, your gift gonna rise above shadiness. It's gonna rise above whatever, materialistic, capitalistic, self-gain folks got out there, right?
Yes.
Your spirit is gonna rise above that. Your gift is gonna rise above that.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you stay in that arena, right? Then the discernment is going to be whatever you decide to do, yay or nay.
Yes.
But within the yay or nay, manifest the spirit.
Yeah.
Manifest the gift.
Yeah.
Right?
I got you.
So then you won't have that whole dilemma of should I go, shouldn't I go? That just boils down to what you feel, what your spirit telling you.
Yes, sir.
Right? Your spirit saying don't go, then don't go. Spirit said go, go.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But the work comes in whatsoever it is you do.
Mm-hmm.
Manifest the gift.
Yes.
That's when you saying, God, I'm good, you good. I don't really appreciate this, what you gave me. See, you showing appreciation is any and everywhere you show up.
Yes.
You sitting at the table in the seat that says inspiration, that says influence, that says impact. Like that's Inky Johnson's seat. Right? When you don't sit in that seat is when you saying, God, I'm good on that. I really have lost my gratitude for what you've given me.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and everywhere you go, it's a chair.
Yes, sir.
Because if your feet on the floor, you can sit down right there.
Yeah.
And whatsoever it is that you see, that you sit, that's where your gift manifests.
Yeah. It's good.
Right? So that, that's my 2 cents on that right there. Young blood. So you ain't got to worry yourself with should I, shouldn't I, it's really just following your heart. Whatever your heart, whatever your spirit tells you, you got the freedom. God gave you the freedom to do that.
I got you.
Your work is when I get there or wherever it is my feet are, let me be the most impactful cat I can possibly be.
Yes,
that's
sir.
You saying, thank you, God. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Woman, entity, however you want to see it, whoever's listening. That's up to you. My bad, I don't mean to offend nobody.
You good. You good.
So.
Throw that Proverbs, man. Throw them Proverbs.
Man, I know. We just got one because we don't probably held these folks' attention too long. I don't mean to monopolize folks' time, man.
Yes, sir.
It's one about, what's that shirt say you got on, man? Because that's what kind of ran me to it.
Gotcha.
What's that shirt say you got on?
Just be a good person.
Be a good person. So, there's a proverb that says, take the trouble to learn the words that will allow your heart to speak without wounding others in the process.
Woo.
Take the trouble to learn the words that will allow your heart to speak without wounding others in the process.
Take the trouble to learn the words to allow your heart to speak without wounding others in the process.
Yes, sir.
I think empathy. I think compassion. I think healing. And I think, I think growth, man.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes when it says learn the words to allow your heart to speak without wounding others, right? That's just a synopsis of it. Oftentimes when we speak, it's almost like love, right? I think the purest form of love, like talking about unfiltered love, unconditional love, is not predicated upon me loving the version of you that best exemplifies what I want you to be.
Right.
Right? But just loving you for who you are. And so when it says about allowing your heart to speak so you don't hurt others, right? Looking and assessing what you want to say, how you view this person, whatever insight, whatever perspective, whatever words that you feel can assist them along their journey is not predicated upon who you want them to be. The version of them that you want them to be. No expectations. I'm not trying to change you. Here go my 2 cents. Do what you will with it.
Yes, sir.
And keep it pressing.
I totally concur with your assessment of the proverb. And I would also, like, for me, one of the things that come to mind is, again, discipline.
Yes.
Take the trouble to learn the words.
Trouble.
Right? Meaning, go through the press to learn the words, such that, because we all trying to articulate our hearts, right?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
We feel certain things, especially when we get upset.
Yeah.
We can, and sometimes when we get upset, we give ourselves permission to be out of order.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
And that's what it means. For me, when they say that, and then our words wound other people.
Yes.
Because I'm mad.
Yes.
That's the first and foremost thing on the table. I'm
mad.
upset. I'm big mad. Right?
Big mad.
So I can call you everything but a child of God and be all right with it, because what? I was mad.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why it starts out with take the trouble to learn the words.
Yes.
Right? So let me discipline myself. Let me get to a level of maturity. Let me walk with God close enough and strong enough. Let me walk with the ancestors, the folks who came before me, long enough and strong enough to where I can articulate my hurt, my pain, my disappointment, right, in such a way that it still doesn't wound your heart.
Yes. That's good. That's good.
That is the epitome of being a good person.
Yes. That's good.
That I took the time to be able to articulate myself, so I'm feeding myself.
Yep.
Without taking away from you.
Yes.
So thus, I'm feeding me and feeding you.
Yes. That's good.
And if we can do that right there, 4, 5, 6 times out of the week, then we might be on to something in terms of a revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be all right.
Might be all right.
Yeah.
Everybody else may say you ain't worth a quarter. You worth about 33, 34 cents to me.
I got you, doctor.
So
I love it, man. I love it.
Man.
I love it.
We've pontificated long enough.
That's it, man. We appreciate y'all time. We appreciate y'all just being with us, man, and supporting us on this journey.
Hey, man. Hey, well, you saying all that? You know, I've been watching these others. What they think, the podcasts and stuff. You know, they always say you got to like and share some stuff.
Like, share, comment. Yeah.
Tell them about that stuff. What they supposed to do.
Yeah, be sure. Like, share, comment, subscribe.
Subscribe. That's it. Yeah.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
We need that subscription. Subscribe.
Yeah.
We would greatly appreciate it.
And, you know, again, thank y'all. Thank you for just taking your time. We appreciate it, but most importantly, we are very gracious for the attention, the time, your words, and your feedback. So please keep them coming.
Thank you. Peace.